Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from Los Angeles. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I am a little under weather, and I do have my warm cup of tea here, which I'm going to try to have. We are lucky that we are online because otherwise I would be worried about spreading my germs to you guys. I don't know about other countries, but especially in the US, people are always worried about spreading germs. So if somebody has a cold or a cough, that person is not very welcome in the room. So in that sense, I'm glad that we are online. The other thing that's going to happen soon in a couple of weeks is there's going to be a time change here in California, in the US in general, and probably in some other countries. But here is going to happen in the last week of October, which means that suddenly the weather around me is going to look different. And that reminds me, actually, I'm very curious to know wherever you are, how the weather is right now. Is it fall? And if yes, is it getting cold or gloomy? And soon it may start snowing. If you are from the southern hemisphere, you may have a totally different experience at this point. So it would be really good to know what type of weather you are experiencing. You can write about it here, or you can email me, or maybe send a picture. Just take a picture of whatever is going on outside of your window. That would be another really interesting thing to see. Since we are already a community, it would be nice to exchange these kinds of details to get an idea of what's going on in your life. So if I sound a little bit different, forgive me because I have a massive cold. I don't know if you can hear it or not. So we were talking about the banana story. Many of you did write to me with their interpretation of the banana story. As you can imagine, there is not one right interpretation. Each one of you had an interpretation a little bit different based on their own situation as well as based on whatever they are going through. And given that, the most important thing is that you guys thought about it. You guys thought about what the banana story meant to you. And obviously, that is the right interpretation for you. I find just thinking about the interpretation itself is a very valuable process. Beyond that, I am going to tell you what I interpret the story as, or rather, what I would like you to take home from this story, because there is something relevant to us, to what we are trying to do here in our story, and there is an important message. Before I tell you the important message, I'm going to have a cup of, or rather a sip of my tea. And let me see what comments we have here. Wendy says, get well soon. Thank you, Wendy. You have a cold too. Oh my God. I wonder where you are, whether you are experiencing. Oh, in the mountains of Italy. How lucky. Sounds wonderful. In the Alps or some other mountains of Italy. And LK says that fall is starting right now in Germany. So last few days of Indian summer. By the way, in Los Angeles, it is still very warm, believe it or not. It's still summer, but just So one day, suddenly it can get cold, but basically it is still summer. Can you believe it? So Germany and Wendy's in Italy. Just like Wendy, you are wearing hoodies and jammies. Alessandro is in Rome, Italy. Wow. You guys are in exotic places. The places that I love to visit. I'm in Rome, Italy. The weather is quite nice these days, fresh and sunny, very pleasant. That's nice. In fact, this period, typically October, I would say end of September and October, tends to be a nice time. It's not as hot and it hasn't become very cold yet. And there's something about having seasons, having the cold weather, especially for first 2 months, you can quite enjoy it. And after that, from January onwards, it becomes a bit much and you're waiting for it to be over. And believe it or not, even in Los Angeles, I feel that way. Although it never snows, it's supposed to be a warm and sunny place, but even then, whatever cold weather comes up, I am not very much for the cold weather. As you can imagine, I come from India and I'm used to warm weather more than anything else. Hans is in Netherlands, of course, the person who wrote the index for us. What is he saying? In the spreadsheet I reversed. I had to click the PM session to find you. PM session, I guess it's because of where you are. He's in Amsterdam. Nice weather and cold. So basically, you guys have nice weather right now. Nobody's complaining about the weather. And I'm not sure why I got this cold. It could be because of the weather pattern going up and down, or sometimes, have you noticed any time when you have a cold or something, people say, oh yeah, it's been going around. There is a virus going around. Every time you have a cold, people say that. Okay, so back to the banana story. So what the banana story is saying is that when you have a desire, when you have something you really want, there is an object of desire, a banana, and you're craving so much that you can become imprisoned. You can become prisoner of your own misery. Think about it. When you want something, and if there is so much craving, sometimes that means you're willing to do whatever it takes. Sounds good, right? I'll do whatever it takes. Yes, one should do whatever it takes. But if you're not mindful of your circumstances, your surroundings, you are going to be taken over or engulfed by the misery. So basically what it is talking about is non-attachment. It is okay to have desire, but if you have desperate craving or desperate aversion, you may find yourself prisoner of your own misery. So what do you do about it? You become mindful of your circumstances and your surroundings, and you create a little bit of a distance from actually getting the banana out of the cage. Instead, what if, imagine this situation, the monkey wants the banana, but let's say the monkey is thinking, he hasn't lost his mind because of this desperate craving. He may think about some other way of getting the banana. Or even when he puts his hand inside and grabs the banana, and the way he pulls it out, he may try to pull it out in a certain way, or he could be mindful of somebody coming to catch him. And he could let go of the banana at the right time. So the non-attachment is what can save him from becoming imprisoned or becoming prisoner of his own craving, misery. Now, how is that relevant to us? We have all decided that there is a quest we have and we want to move more towards it. Now, I'm going to say something somewhat counterintuitive, which is don't crave the goal. What am I saying from it? I'm asking you to have a goal, to have a desire, and yes, you want to move more and more towards it, but with a certain amount of non-attachment, certain amount of distance, certain amount of mindfulness. Now, this non-attachment, as I have been saying, is defined as desperate craving or desperate aversion, avoiding that. So you have heard enjoy the process, not the goal, and all these kinds of things. In a way, it makes sense. What we want to do is in the process of moving more towards our quest, we want to enjoy the quest itself because of having some amount of faith that yes, you will reach the quest, you will reach it. But you don't want to be miserable because of I want it now, or why am I not getting it? What can I do? Or whatever it is. So you want to move towards your goal, but with enjoyment. How do you create the enjoyment? Is it possible to always be joyful when you want to achieve something, you want to do something? Not at all. There will be times when you may be very stressed out, you may be taken over by anger and other negative emotions, but you are not going to be experiencing desperate aversion. This will pass too. This is going to change. So the way you go through negative emotions, that relationship will change. At the same time, whenever something works or something is pleasant, you are going to notice it. You're going to be mindful of it and enjoy it. You will find your pockets of joy on the way towards your quest. So there is a saying in Hindu religion, in Bhagavad Gita, those of you who know about Bhagavad Gita, it says that when you have a goal, don't work towards the goal, but without having attachment to the fruits. Now it says fruit, it's literally talking about the banana possibly. So we want to work, we want to do whatever we are born for, whatever feels meaningful to us, but we are not doing it only because of the goal. Unless I get it, I will not be happy. That is the wrong way of looking at it if you want to be indeed happy. So that is the meaning of this banana story. So the reason I said it is somewhat counterintuitive is because I'm saying, yes, have the quest, have the goal, move more towards it. But now that you know what it is, be non-attached. I hope you know when I say non-attached, you know what I'm talking about. How do you do that? That this non-attachment, which means that enjoying the pockets of joy, and whenever something is unpleasant, ability to sit through it. Either way, you are not engulfed in misery and you're moving more towards wherever you want to go. How do you do that? Mindfulness meditations is a way, is a tool to create the non-attachment. Those of you who have done 6-week camp, you have heard this from me again and again, that non-attachment is what you get by doing mindfulness meditations. You learn to observe as opposed to just simply immersing and being taken over by the emotions. If you want to experiencing a pleasant moment at that moment, yes, please go ahead and do that. But at the same time, you are not going to create a craving for that moment to come back again and again. Right now, at the moment, this is how it is. I'm observing it. And if it is unpleasant, this will pass too. This is what you're internalizing when you do mindfulness meditation. And that's why to do it as a practice, to do it almost every day, is what's going to give you, obviously, it's allowing you to develop the muscle of non-attachment. So it is like a muscle. If you want to tone, what do? You exercise almost every day. It's the same way. And it's not me saying it. If you read any amount of research, it's about neurons that fire together, wire together. This is, in some sense, about mind training. Training your mind to develop this attitude towards life where you do want to enjoy, you do want to pass through unpleasant experiences without having to suppress it, running away from it, knowing that this will pass too, and a certain amount of distance. I hope I have said enough. So with that now, first let's do a meditation. If you have any questions, this is actually a good time to post it because I'm going to have my tea, a couple of sips before we get into the meditation. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them or any comments. Let's do a meditation. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And pay attention to your breath for some time. And now we are going to do a body scan meditation. Since we talked about non-attachment, body scan meditation is one of the best ways in which you can practice Whenever there are strong feelings, the times when you want to do feeling awareness meditation, that's wonderful. Each person has his or her own preference for a type of meditation. But I would suggest definitely to practice body scan unless you have a very anxious, panicky feeling about noticing your body. In that case, go to breath awareness. But do practice body scan from time to time. And then the feeling awareness, especially given that if you want something, some answer, like what we did last time, or if there is some insight you're expecting, or you're feeling strongly and you would like to resolve that feeling for that moment, that's a good time to do feeling awareness meditation. So today, let's do body scan. So start with the top of your head and notice how you feel inside your head and your face, as well as outside on the skin. And as you notice whatever is going on in your head, just smile. This head of yours is an important organ in your body. It carries the brain, and it also has your facial feature, which a lot of times determine how people recognize you. So just smile. A smile is also with a little bit of appreciation for the head and the face that it's there. It works, it functions. And now move to your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, and your hands. This whole strand. Notice if there is any muscular movement or anything, any itching, twitching, anything you feel on the skin as well as inside. Breathe in, let the breath reach your shoulders, and notice starting from the shoulders all the way to the tip of your fingers. And smile. It's a lot of work for these guys, your arms and fingers. And now pay attention to your upper back, lower back, and pay attention to if there is any ache or pain. Just simply notice. Pay attention to each and every disc in your spinal cord. As if your attention is massaging it. And now the chest and the tummy, the heart area. Smile at the heart. It's been working since before you were born. What do you feel in your tummy? Any movement? Anything you notice? And now move to your buttocks and your thighs and knees. Notice any muscular movement, anything that grabs your attention in this area. The knees, and then the shins and the calves, the ankle, and the upper foot, both the feet and the bottom of the feet, and the toes. Notice all these areas, one at a time, smiling The tired feet, that can also make you feel untired if you relax your feet. Can make you feel very relaxed. And now pay attention to your entire body all at once. Entire body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, as if it's a bottle. Look at this bottle and see what part of your body, what part of this bottle attracts your attention at the moment. Where does your attention go to? And be aware of your awareness. You're observing your own body and you're paying attention to wherever attention goes at this moment, and be aware of that's what you're doing. It's like you're watching yourself watching. What you're watching is the awareness itself. Awareness of what? What is your body doing right now? You're becoming aware of it, and you're aware that's what you're watching. When your body grabs your attention, what else comes to you? Do you notice any image, or you notice any thought or feeling? Notice it. Noticing your entire body all at once, and noticing where your attention goes. And now breathe in and breathe out again. Pay attention to the breath. The breath is going in this body, in this bottle. How is this bottle receiving the breath? And now say the line 3 times to yourself. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. And you can open your eyes slowly at first and then all the way. And today we did a full 20-minute meditation. I believe it was probably a little over 20 minutes. And we covered the entire body. If you have more time, you can do the same thing, but instead of bunching limbs together the way I did, you could observe each one separately. Smile and observe. Be aware of your awareness. LK is asking, shall we always ponder over the same question of our quest or try something new each time? It's up to you. Because I said quest doesn't mean every time you meditate over the quest. No, that's not what it is. But from time to time, do a meditation to see how you are feeling about your quest. Partly because you want to get insights into what to do next, or if something makes sense. Believe me, every time you do it, you will have a better understanding. But that doesn't mean every time you want to do a feeling awareness or something, you are going to your quest. There will be times when you may be taken over by some specific emotions, and then you can do feeling awareness on that. Alessandro, I lost the banana problem. Was it last week? Yes, we did talk about the banana story last week, and I had asked you guys to interpret it and send me emails. So, Alessandro, please go to the last week's session, and listen to the banana story and do write to me. LK, another thing I want to say is if you had any problems with the app, I suggest now delete it and reinstall it, and it should work. There was some problem LK was having. It should work. I have talked to the developers, and there is a new version that they have just released, so you would be okay now. Delete it, and then do write to me to tell me it's working fine. Richard is saying, you hope feel better soon. Yes. Yes, I hope so too. And it's really wonderful to see you all in writing. And yes, we will see each other next week. And I just want to say one thing. Do the body scan meditation as many times as you can. In between, do a feeling awareness meditation. If you do it towards your quest, either a question about the quest or if there is any feeling you have about the quest, that would be wonderful, because that is something we are trying to do. In addition, if there is any other feeling awareness meditation you want to do, I find feeling awareness meditations to be most powerful when you are looking for some answer. Hans wants to know if the body scan meditation also be done as an open awareness meditation, paying attention to sounds, etc. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. At this stage, you would be able to do an open awareness meditation. What that would mean is you're opening your attention. If sound comes in your attention span, you listen to the sounds. If something about your body grabs your attention, you can pay attention to that. But primarily, maybe you want to go through your body, and as you are paying attention, if something else comes in your attention span, you become aware of it. See, what you're becoming aware of, your awareness, remember that whatever you're doing, if you're aware of it, that's open awareness. And thank you, Alessandro, I think you are Italian, so I assume it's Alessandro. Tell me if I'm saying it right. And I'll see you all next Thursday. Bye for now.